The campaign against Dong Zhuo was a punitive expedition initiated by a coalition of regional officials and warlords against the warlord Dong Zhuo in 190 in the late Eastern Han Dynasty. The members of the coalition claimed that Dong had the intention of usurping the throne by holding Emperor Xian hostage and by establishing a strong influence in the imperial court. They justified their campaign as to remove Dong from power. The campaign led to the evacuation of the capital Luoyang and the shifting of the imperial court to Chang'an. It was a prelude to the end of the Han Dynasty and, subsequently, the Three Kingdoms period. In Luo Guanzhong's historical novel Romance of the Three Kingdoms, the campaign is memorable for at least two famous incidents. One is Guan Yu's slaying of Hua Zhong, the other is the 3-on-1 duel between the three sworn brothers and Lu Bu. The two scenes are often reenacted in Chinese opera along with other famous scenes from the novel. Both incidents, however, are fictional. Hua was killed in a battle against Sun Jian. Lu, Guan and Zhang were not active in the campaign. Instead, they were fighting remnants of the Yellow Turban rebels in the north and thus did not duel with Lu Bu, who, historically, was defeated by Sun Jian in battle. Background: following the death of Emperor Ling in 189, General-in-Chief He Jin summoned the frontier general Dong Zhuo from the northwest into the capital city of Luoyang. Dong was ordered to lead his troops into the capital city to aid he in eliminating the eunuch faction, the 10 attendants, from the imperial court. However, before Dong Zhuo's arrival, He Jin's plan was revealed and he was assassinated by the eunuchs. He Jin's associates led by Yuan Shao stormed the palace after the assassination and started massacring eunuchs. The young Emperor Shao and his younger brother, the Prince of Qianliu, were brought out of the palace by the surviving eunuchs during the chaos. The emperor lost the imperial seal during his escape. They were eventually discovered by a search party and escorted back to the palace safely by Dong Zhuo and his men. Subsequently, the warlord Ding Yuan was killed by his subordinate Lu Bu for opposing Dong Zhuo's decision to depose Emperor Shao. Lu then defected to Dong's side. In 190, Dong Zhuo deposed Emperor Shao and installed the Prince of Qianliu on the throne. The prince became historically known as Emperor Xian. Dong appointed himself as Chancellor of State, an official post abolished almost 200 years ago. On March 26 in the same year, Dong had the Prince of Hongyong and Empress Dowager he killed. Since then, Dong Zhuo had established a strong influence in the imperial court. He was authoritarian and showed no regard for the absolute monarchy as he made the final decisions on policies without consulting or seeking approval from the emperor. He eliminated several of his opponents in the imperial court to further strengthen his grip over the apparatus of state. Yuan Shao fled from Luoyang after openly disagreeing with Dong Zhuo's decision to depose Emperor Shao. Dong Zhuo feared that Yuan Shao might rise in revolt against him as Yuan was also an influential figure in politics as well. Dong heeded his advisors' suggestions and proposed to the emperor to appoint Yuan as Grand Administrator of Bohai as an act of appeasement. Course of events: formation of the coalition. While in Bohai, Yuan Shao was not appeased by Dong Zhuo's proposal to appoint him as Grand Administrator. He planned to start a coup d'état to remove Dong from power by rising in revolt, but he was kept in check by Han Fu, the governor of Ji province. At the same time, the Grand Administrator of Dong Commandery, Qiao Mao, forged letters of accusation against Dong Zhuo, denouncing him as a traitor with the intention of usurping the throne, calling for a punitive expedition against Dong. These letters were distributed all around the nation in the name of officials from the capital. Regional officials and warlords all around China received the letters and responded to the call to remove Dong Zhuo from power. In February 190, the Guangdong Coalition was formed after several regional officials and warlords gathered east of Hangyu Pass with their armies in response to the call for a punitive war against Dong Zhuo. Yuan Shao was elected to be the leader of the coalition. The forces of Sun Jian and Cao Cao also participated in the campaign under the banners of Yuan Shu and Zhang Miao respectively. The participants of the campaign included Yuan Shu, general of the rear; Han Fu, governor of Ji province; Dong Zhuo, inspector of Yu province; Lu Dai, inspector of Yan province; Wang Quang, grand administrator of Henai; Yuan Shao, grand administrator of Bohai; Zhang Miao, grand administrator of Chenliu; Qiao Mao, grand administrator of Dong Commandery; Yuan Yi, grand administrator of Shanyang; Bao Xin, chancellor of Daibei; Zhang Chao, grand administrator of Guangling; Zhang Yang, grand administrator of Shangdang; Yu Fuluo, Chani of the southern Zhongyu. The coalition forces encamped in several locations east of the capital city of Luoyang, effectively surrounding it. The locations of the coalition members in relation to Luoyang are as follows. To the north, in Henai, Yuan Shao, Wang Quang, Zhang Yang, Yu Fuluo. To the east, in Suanzhou, Zhang Miao, Lu Dai, Qiao Mao, Yuan Yi. To the south, in Luoyang, Yuan Shu. To the southeast, in Yingxuan, Dong Zhuo. To the northeast, in Yi, Han Fu. The blockade had the effect of cutting supplies from the eastern part of the Han Empire from the capital, which drastically reduced the government's tax revenue. In response, Dong Zhuo melted statues and treasures for all the bronze he could find to mint more coinage, flooding the market, with the ultimate effect of rampant inflation throughout the empire. Despite the impressive showing of force, most of the coalition's armies were hurriedly rallied family retainers and opportunists for loot with little battle experience. The leader of the coalition, Yuan Shao himself, had not seen action in much of the 180s since he had been in 6 years mourning for first his mother, and then his adoptive father, during which he could not participate in military matters. This is contrasted with Dong Zhuo's battle-hardened frontiersmen, who had previously fought in the Liang province rebellion. Raising of Luoyang, Dong Zhuo was alarmed by the formation of the Guangdong Coalition against him. He proposed that the capital of Luoyang be evacuated immediately and the imperial court be shifted to Chang'an in the west. All civilians were to evacuate Luoyang as well and move to Chang'an, with only Dong and his military staying behind to defend Luoyang from the coalition forces. Dong Zhuo's proposal was met with strong criticisms from other court officials, but Dong silenced him by deposing anyone who opposed him. On April 9 of 190, Dong's proposal was implemented. He ordered his soldiers to loot and rob the rich households of Luoyang and drive Luoyang's civilian population towards Chang'an. Emperor Xian, nobles, aristocrats and officials followed the civilians and Dong's troops as they made their long journey towards Chang'an. Anyone who refused to obey orders to evacuate to Chang'an was killed on the spot. Dong Zhuo also ordered Lu Bu to lead men to raid ancient tombs and burial mounts for their valuables and treasure. After the evacuation, Luoyang was set on fire and razed to the ground. According to Chen Shou's records of 3 kingdoms, the numbers of the innocent dead were beyond measurement. In Suanzhou, Cao Cao led his men westward to attack Dong Zhuo's forces. He was followed by a contingent from Zhang Miao's army led by Wei Zi. Cao Cao's army was defeated by Dong's forces, led by Zhu Rong, in the Battle of Xingyang, and Cao Cao himself was injured in battle. Cao Hong offered his steed to him and he followed Cao Cao on foot, and they managed to escape from the battlefield. Zhu withdrew his troops after the battle. When Cao Cao returned to Suanzhou, he suggested that the coalition pursue Dong Zhuo's retreating forces to threaten Dong by showing him that the coalition was still on the move. However, Zhang Miao and the others present dismissed his suggestion. Cao Cao then led his men to join Yuan Shao in Henai together with Xiao Dun. After Cao's departure, the coalition forces stationed in Suanzhou ran out of supplies and dispersed. Lu Dai seized the opportunity to kill Qiao Mao, whom he held a grudge against. At the same time, Dong Zhuo sent reputable men such as Han Rong, Yin Xiu, Hu Ban, Wu Xiu, and Wang Jiui to see Yuan Shao and negotiate for an armistice. However, Yuan had all the negotiators detained and killed except for Han Rong. Seeing peace was impossible, Dong Zhuo rapidly surrounded Huang Kuang's encampment in Heiyang Ford north of Luoyang and dealt a defeat so severe that Wang Kuang abandoned the coalition and fled back to his home in Taishan Commandery. Sun Jian's advances in Luoyang to the south. Sun Jian, who had joined Yuan Shu with 30,000 men, was given the rank general who quells rebels and governor of Yu province by Yuan. Yuan made Sun the vanguard, and Sun started to train his men in Luoyang. In the winter of 190, Dong Zhuo sent a force of some 10,000s to attack Luoyang. At the time, Sun Jian's men were having a drinking party, but Sun did not stir upon hearing the news. Instead, he calmly continued to pass his wine around while his troops gathered into formation. Seeing such discipline, Dong Zhuo's men turned around and retreated. In March 191, Sun Jian moved his camp north to Liangdong, but he was outnumbered by Zhu Rong there. With several dozen men, he broke through the encirclement. Seeing that his red scarf could easily identify him, Sun gave it to his trusted general Zhu Mao, whom Zhu Rong's soldiers chased while Sun escaped. Zhu Mao later hung the scarf onto a half-burned pillar, and hid himself in the tall grasses nearby. The enemies surrounded the pillar and approached cautiously till they realized they had been fooled, whereupon they retreated. Gathering his scattered armies, Sun Jian went forward to camp in Yangren. This time, Dong Zhuo sent Hua Zhong, Hu Zhen, and Lu Bu with 5,000 men to attack Sun. However, Lu Bu, who was in charge of cavalry, was not in good terms with Hu Zhen and quarreled with him. Sun Jian seized the opportunity to attack them, and Dong Zhuo's forces were defeated in a rout. Hua Zhong was captured by Sun and promptly executed. At this time, someone told Yuan Shu that if Sun Jian defeated Dong Zhuo and took over the capital, he would not be controllable anymore. The doubtful Yuan then ceased providing supplies to Sun. Sun rode the 100-odd li from Yangren to Luoyang in the night to see Yuan, whereupon he said to the latter, "I put myself in danger during battle, with a primary purpose to eliminate a traitor for the country and second to avenge the deaths of your kinsmen. I have no personal grudge against Dong Zhuo. Yet you believed slanderous talks and suspect me." The words put Yuan to shame and he immediately ordered the food supply to be delivered. Fearing Sun Jian, Dong Zhuo sent his subordinate Li Ju as an emissary to seek peace and cement an alliance. Li Ju also promised Sun Jian appointments in the government service for his sons. To this, Sun replied, "Dong Zhuo opposes heaven and defies the law. Until I have killed you and all your clan, and shown your heads to the four seas, I shall not be able to die in peace. How can I ally with you?" Sun Jian then led his forces to Dag Pass, a fortified pass guarding Luoyang to the south, 90 li away from Luoyang. Dong Zhuo personally fought in the battle at the later Han tombs, but was defeated and fled to Mianchi and Shan, west of Luoyang. Sun Jian then continued to march into Luoyang, where he met and routed the forces of Lu Bu. Settling in, Sun ordered his men to reseal the tombs of former emperors that were excavated by Dong Zhuo. It was said in Wei Zhao's Book of Wu that Sun Jian found the lost imperial seal in a well south of Luoyang and kept it for himself. Sun Jian then sent part of his force forward to Shinan and Mianchi to threaten Dong Zhuo's defense positions. Dong now sent Dong Yu to camp at Mianchi, Duan Wei to camp at Huayan, and Niu Fu to camp at Eni. His other commanders were spread out among the counties to block any attack from the east of the mountains. After these arrangements, Dong Zhuo led his own troops away to Chang'an. Having repaired the imperial tombs, Sun Jian led his army back to Luoyang as the ruined Luoyang was vulnerable to possible counterattacks by Dong Zhuo. The former capital of Luoyang was now abandoned by both contending forces. Internal conflict. Despite Sun Jian's successes, the coalition did not build upon them due to poor communication and coordination among the leaders. The warlords in the east were unaware that Emperor Jian was still alive, as they were isolated by the passes separating Luoyang from the east. Yuan Shao and Han Fu proposed to enthrone Lu Yu, the inspector of Yu province and a member of the imperial clan, as the new emperor. Cao Cao and Yuan Shu disagreed with the proposal. When Yuan Shao and Han Fu sent a messenger to Lu Yu to inform him, Lu rebuked the messenger sternly and refused the offer flatly. Liu expressed his loyalty to the current Emperor Jian and threatened to head north into Zhou territory if Yuan Shao insisted that he become the new emperor. After repeated failed attempts, Yuan Shao decided to give up. In addition, the warlords turned their attention from Dong Zhuo back to themselves and started to pursue their individual interests again instead of uniting against Dong Zhuo. Han Fu, who was in charge of provisions, gradually stopped supplying the coalition army. His subordinate Qu Yi rebelled against him and defeated him before defecting over to Yuan Shao. The incident alerted Yuan of his need to secure his sources of supply, and he plotted to seize Han's lands. Yuan collaborated with Gongsun secretly to attack Han Fu's Ji province, and eventually Han surrendered Ji province to Yuan. Yuan Shao sent Zhou Yu to attack Sun Jian, who was returning from Luoyang, to join Yuan Shu. In the Battle of Yangcheng, Zhou made a surprise attack on Sun's camp at Yangcheng and captured it. Yuan Shu sent Gongsun Yu to assist Sun Jian in fighting Zhou Yu. Gongsun Yu was killed in the battle even though it was a victory for Sun Jian. Gongsun Zan held Yuan Shao responsible for Gongsun Yu's death and declared war on Yuan Shao, which led to the Battle of Jieqiao subsequently. By then, the coalition had failed and collapsed, existing only in name. Death of Dong Zhuo. For the following year, the warlords ceased to take any action against Dong Zhuo. Dong occasionally sent an army to attack the warlord Zhu Jun and plundered his territory. Dong Zhuo returned to his tyrant status in the imperial court, but he had become less tolerant towards dissent, as any official who uttered a slight offensive remark would be killed immediately. He installed all members of his clan and relatives by marriage in high-ranking official posts. Even his infant sons were conferred titles of marquises and played with gold seals and purple tassels. Court officials Wang Yun, Hu Wangwan, Shisun Rui and Yang Zan plotted to assassinate Dong Zhuo. They persuaded Lu Bu to join their cause because Lu's relationship with Dong was becoming increasingly strained after Dong threw a hand axe at him, and due to his affair with one of Dong's chambermaids. On the 22nd of May 192, Dong Zhuo was on the way to an assembly in his chariot when Li Su advanced towards him and stabbed him. Dong shouted for Lu Bu to protect him, but Lu killed him instead. Dong's relatives were executed after his death, while his corpse was left exposed on the streets of Chang'an. The officer guarding the corpse lit a wick on the navel and it burned for days on the fats of the corpse. After Dong Zhuo's death, several of his loyalists, such as Fan Chu, Guo Si and Li Ju, escaped as they believed that their loyalty towards Dong Zhuo would be considered as treason. Wang Yun, who had taken control of the government after Dong Zhuo's death, heard their appeal for amnesty and said, "Of all those who should be pardoned, they are the exceptions." Dong's loyalists were outraged by Wang's remarks and waged war. However, they were defeated by Lu Bu and the imperial forces. Eventually, Dong Zhuo's remnant forces managed to outwit Lu Bu by distracting him and they seized control of Chang'an. Wang Yun was killed. The power of the Eastern Han dynasty fell into the hands of Dong Zhuo's remnants after that and gradually evolved into a struggle for power, which spread throughout the nation progressively.